What's up, everybody? We're here with the 717 Real Estate Podcast, another episode, our third episode with Karim Davidson. Welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we'll jump right into it. So growing up, what was it like growing up in like early ages? And because I know you, as like I know you as my friend and partner in real estate, so I know you're not from the United States. You're from a different country in general. So if you want to go in, let them know everything about the country and like how you grew up at all.
All right, yeah. I'm from the Caribbean. It's an island called Trinidad and Tobago. It's a twin island. So I lived on the island that was called Trinidad. Was very very different growing up there. There was warm weather all the way through the year. It was always like summer. We were always outside running around doing stuff. A lot of beach trips. Sunday was like a tradition to go to the beach. So we'd cook, pack the car up with food, and the whole family would head out to the beach, and we would basically spend the whole day Sunday at the beach. Yeah, it was uh, definitely different. I moved here when I was 18. It was totally like like a culture shock. Everything was so different. So yeah.
Dude, it sounds like a dream vacation. What, what made you want to make a move?
Yeah, yeah, if you want to call it that, yes, yes. It's a lot of free living because basically I never had to worry about sweaters or coats, or I was basically running around in flip flops and shorts every day. Unless I was going to like a wedding or a church or something like that. Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, what? So to answer your question, to what maybe make the move? Well, that wasn't my decision. That was my parents' decision. All right, because I was still basically a child, if you want to put it that way. I was just about to turn 18 when they moved here. So yeah, they picked up the whole family and moved over here. Basically, as what everyone else was looking for, opportunity. That's basically why we moved here. Um, it had its good and its bad, but I guess the thing is, in this country, there's a lot more opportunities and easier access to do things. So that was the main reason for them moving, to give us a better future.
So like going off that, if you don't mind me asking, like what were like the struggles then that they deemed there's more opportunity in the United States? Like what what were they doing then that just wasn't working out is kind of what I'm trying to go about.
So like in those, like, I don't know how you want to put it, countries, like, I don't know if you want to put it third world or whatever, however you want to call it, but it just wasn't as much access to everything freely. Like, basically you had to know somebody to get like a certain job or something, or even to get like a business loan or whatever from the bank. It's basically like you had to know somebody. um I mean, my parents, they were doing pretty well. They weren't like, we weren't, like, starving or anything like that, but um like, they see where there was more opportunity, because, as I say, you had to know somebody. So for example, if you want to be a cop, you had to know a cop, or had a family member to
Yeah.
become a cop. So it's kind of like, preference on who you know, and that was the only way you can basically get ahead a little bit. And there's not a whole lot of opportunity. Yeah.
No.
So like super tight knit type of community over there. What are some culture shocks like coming over here that you're just like, wow, like what are these people doing?
Yeah, so definitely the culture is really different, as far as you say, tight knit. Like, basically everyone in my neighborhood knew everyone. Everyone talked to everyone. Sometimes cuss out each other, whatever, and make up the next day, a couple days. But yeah, everyone basically definitely knew each other, and you would, like, going down the street, you would say hi or hello to everybody, or stop and talk to everybody, even if it's just to say hi. You would That was one of the culture shocks when I came here. Like, a lot of people would pass you straight. I'm like, well, what? I'm like, I say hi, but they just keep on walking, or whatever. So that was like a big culture shock. That was one of the culture shocks. And like, like you may not even know your next door neighbor because they just come in, they go right in the house, or sometimes they don't come out, especially like on the cold months or whatever. So that was like definitely like a culture shock. Um, Another thing that was like really weird to me, like that we don't really do in Trinidad, is like how we have street parking here in front of your house. Like we never had that. Like all the cars, we had a driveway or a garage. Like we never just parked the car in front of on the street in front of the house. So that was one of the biggest things to me. Like moving to the city of Reading, where I didn't have a driveway or whatever, so we would park the cars in front of the house when we first moved here. Yeah.
So like you said you were 18. Did they wait until you were out of high school or
So yes, I was
yeah?
actually done with high school. I finished high school over there. That's one thing. Like I always hear people saying that I think is true. They say the education in the Caribbean, those Caribbean countries, are actually higher compared to the U.S. That's what they say. So I actually graduated high school when I was a little over 16. I was totally done with high school. Yeah.
Did you graduate early or is that
No,
like
that's
that's just
like normal. That's
that's
like
no that's
normal. Yeah. I
normal?
mean, I was like let's say put it like maybe 6 months early because of my age bracket.
Yeah.
So, but that's like normal. Yeah,
That's
that's like normal. So, but when I came here, I think I don't know if they were. So I was in the process of trying to get like my transcripts, sent over, and I don't think they were understanding it or whatever because it was to them it was like kind of weird, like how am I done with high school already? So they made me start over school. So I was to get like my GED or the equivalent of a high school diploma here. So I started going back to night school, and then like halfway through high school, they were like, "Oh, now we got your transcript. Yeah, we see this, and yeah, you really did graduate. Yeah, it's basically the equivalent of here." And so, but I finished it anyway, and I got like a diploma from here. But yeah.
That's that's a little strange. So how how many years, how many extra years did they make you do before like they had the transcripts and they said like all good? Like,
Which
did you have to take the whole 4 years of high school again?
no, it was just they just wanted me to go back 1 year in night school. That's what it was. Yeah, they
so
wanted me to go back to 1 year in night school.
so just kind of until you're 18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Did you notice any like curriculum that was like different from I guess the culture back home?
Not too much. It was. I mean, I think I learned pretty much everything at an earlier age than what kids would learn here. That's the difference that I noticed. Yeah.
Got you. I just like imagine that like maybe I don't know, America like pushes certain things, but I'm curious to know if like they push something that you were like, no, that's not right or anything like that.
No, not really. No, no, not that I can remember anyway. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. My
What?
curiosity filled.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Trust me.
Well, like continuing on that, so like you got there, you're freshly 18, you're probably just getting into your career, and I know you had a couple careers before you got into real estate. So, what was like the first job, the first like step in the door you got when you got here?
My first job was like any kid growing up here. It was at a fast food place. So my first job was at Arby's. Yeah.
Was any good learning experiences from that at all, or
Um.
I feel like the first job always has like the most, at least in my perspective. When I just started working, you get introduced to the workforce, you learn a bunch of new things that you just didn't expect, and maybe even like work ethic, or I don't know if you got your work ethic before from like just growing up with family or
Yeah. So I never had an actual job like growing up in Trinidad. So that was my
yeah,
first job. So yeah. So but it was good. I enjoyed it at that age.
yeah,
I met a lot of new people, and that was my yeah. It wasn't bad, and I stuck in there for a few years, just to get started.
yeah. And then you just like continue to move on, and what was the next one after that?
My next one after that was like a personal care job where I would take care of old folks like one on one.
Yeah,
So like they would need assistance or whatever, getting up, going to the bathroom and stuff like that. So I did that for a little while. Yeah, and most of the times I had two or three jobs. So and then I had another one where I was a cook at that same place. It was like a retirement home. So I would cook in the kitchen, and then after I was a whatnot, I will do like private jobs with the clients, like they need help, moving around and stuff like that. Yeah.
so like going through those jobs, like Like from us talking, I can tell you enjoy real estate. I know you enjoy investing and fixing up houses too. Like, where'd you go to start to get that like niche that you actually like enjoy this and you want to move forward with it? And was that there with other jobs, or was it just something you became like really excited about?
So I had a lot of different, well, I didn't say a lot of different jobs, but I worked a lot like in the workforce before actually getting into real estate. Um, so like, I was taught that, you should just work a lot for, whatever you want, save money, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, but it wasn't probably till about, I think it was 2017 or 2016. Um, when my wife was like, why do we keep working? And then, it's like all we do is work just to like buy stuff or whatnot. And it's like, we got to do something different. And she started hinting out to like, real estate, like let's do something in real estate. So, I kept looking at it. We dabbled in it for a couple of years and, just looking around and to see, which way we want to go. And then finally, a house came up for auction around the street and I just went to the auction and that was like my first investment property and that I bought. And after that, we bought a few more through auctions, and then we just keep going from there for a couple years. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just gonna. Well, actually, my wife did. She was like, why don't you go get your real estate license? And I actually did. And while while having my real estate license, I still kept my 9 to 5 job. So I would be, I'll work my job, then I'll come home, help clients out in the evening or what I'm doing, have an investment property that I'm working on. So I'll be basically be gone from home from most of the time from 5 in the morning till 10, 11, sometimes 12 at night. So I did that for a few years and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make the dive fully to get into real estate full time as a realtor. And then, I still do a little bit of investing on the side, not much. So, but I really enjoy it. You know, when I really found out I enjoyed is when I started working with clients, like, people that would come to me and, want me to help them in real estate. That's when I found out I really liked it because, the way I can help them and help them accomplish their goal of what they wanted to get done in real estate. That's when I really started enjoying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the best part is like with a first time home buyer who's excited to get their first home, and they don't know how to do it. And you can kind of like show them the way and help them through the process and achieve their goal.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because it's like a lot of them, it's like an eye opener because they didn't think they can do it until you start showing them different things on how to go about it and how to get it done. And it's like an eye opener to them. And, you're actually, holding their hand and taking them every step. And it's awesome.
So
So
like also like you said you worked a 9 to 5 while you were focusing on real estate.
Mhm.
So like do you think you could have done that sooner, or like would you wish you have done that sooner, or do you think like that's a necessary step like to really like grow your business and then decide to fully jump into it?
Um, I don't think I could have done it sooner. I think it worked out perfect the way it was. As a matter of fact, I it was hard to actually leave the 9 to 5. Put it that way, it was really hard. Um, but I would say a 9 to 5 and then moving into real estate is one way to accomplish it. But I feel like you can't really keep holding on to that 9 to 5 and try to do real estate because you will never really know what you're fully capable of accomplishing in real estate because that 9 to 5 is going to hold you back. It
Yeah.
definitely will. Yeah.
for sure. Hey, Kareem, if we could backpedal a little bit. So you and your wife were tired of going through the rat race, right? Like you guys were constantly chasing after your own tail on the little circle that the rats do run on. What when looking at the real estate property for auction, like that must have been terrifying. That's a huge jump. What's the process behind preparing for that? Like what's some oopsie daisies that you made when purchasing that? I'm assuming it was a rental investment property.
Yeah. Mhm.
How was that finally like finding the tenant and like that whole process going throughout?
So it was really scary. It was really scary. Put it that way. My first purchase especially, I was shaking. Trust me, signing the paperwork, I was shaking in my boots. So my whole hand was shaking. Um, but we just jumped into it, and we just did what we have to do, had what we had to do, and it basically it really worked out pretty well. And I would say there wasn't really, in my first few investments, there really wasn't any oopsie daisy. Like I just felt like somehow we just got lucky to do it the right way. And I think just knowing the people that I knew then, actually, which most of them were co-workers to help me out in getting the property ready, because I worked with a couple guys that they were very handy, and they did work for me that was super cheap, and I even paid them extra, and they were grateful for it, and I was grateful for them because they helped me a ton. They saved me a whole bunch of money on stuff that they did for me, and that helped a lot. And yeah, so my first few projects, wasn't really any oopsie daisy. Yeah, it actually worked out that I didn't,
You're giving me hope here, man. You chill out a little bit. But no, so like but like did you have any mentors, or like how did you find the information? Did you use YouTube? Like what was that like actually figuring out how to do all this?
So actually, no, I didn't really have any mentor per se, put it that way, but I had someone that guided me a little. So actually, I had a realtor that actually guided me a little bit because, when we started looking into it, I found a realtor, and we started looking at houses with him. And he sat down with us one day, and, he was thinking and he was talking. He was like, "You guys should read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad." And I think reading that book at that time is what just make me like just make the jump, like just jump, like seriously, like it just turn on a switch in there that just, like seriously. Yeah.
Shout out Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
So like I have you read that book before?
Yeah, that was the first book I read.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait, so what's the rundown of the book?
You didn't read that book
I've,
yet?
I've never read that book.
Oh no, you're missing out.
Wait,
You gotta read that book.
Wait, so what's like a quick rundown of the book?
That book's what got me into reading. Like I just saw a YouTube video and I was like, dude, I'm just gonna buy the book, whatever, man.
Yeah.
And it was basically so Robert, he had a rich dad, he had a poor dad. The poor dad was always telling him to go through college, go become a doctor, whatever, get your degree.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't really find the idea too enthusiastic. He wasn't enthusiastic about it because that means debt. He saw how hard his father was working, his real father, and it wasn't exciting for him. But then his friend's father was an entrepreneur. He had a business, and he would work under his friend's father with his friend, who then showed him how to actually run a business, what borrowing money was about, what good debt was compared to bad debt. Like obviously, bad debt was I want to get a whole bunch of cars. I want to have a second mortgage. Well, I mean, for investing, second mortgage might be good, but basically living with under your means to invest in properties or such that will actually give you higher leverage and build you income. And then also he was talking about the different tax brackets, each one. But I haven't read that book in a while. So did you?
I'm way longer than you, so I don't remember the details of it. But yeah, basically it teaches you about investing and the difference between working a 9 to 5 and yeah, and running a business. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I might have to actually read that book.
Definitely. I totally 100% to anyone I know, I tell them read that book.
Yeah, even if you're not into reading, like he has a whole YouTube channel and you can just get short 30-minute periods of all the information it tells in the book. Like I would just do that, man. He's an interesting guy to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning a little bit of stuff today. Well, even going forward, like when you got into your investment properties, were there any like I know you said there wasn't a lot in the beginning, but like did you run into any like hiccups at all? Like, is there like a big like hiccup that you like know of that like if like anyone else is thinking about getting into investment properties that they might mess up?
I ran into hiccups, like stuff that are hidden that I didn't expect to spend for, but it didn't really like turn into a loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had one property that I flipped that I lost. I lost a little bit of money on. I probably lost like 3 grand on it. Everything went sideways with that.
Three
Flip.
grand lost though on a property that went fully sideways is not bad at all.
Right. Yeah. In all the investments that I did, that's the biggest loss I had. But yeah.
What are some unexpected costs that people looking to get into rentals should think about?
You say unexpected cost?
Yeah, like I mean, there's usually a category like line when you're looking to buy a
Mm-hmm.
property. What's some things that people kind of overlook that like boom, can hit you out of nowhere?
Things that could hit you out of nowhere. One of the biggest hidden things is water lines and sewer lines. One that hit me at a property was the main water line coming in. Like you can't see that it's underground, and a lot of the times you walk the property, you don't know if it's leaking or not. So I ran into one of those that was actually leaking under the ground. They had to dig up the whole front, the sidewalk, and everything to get to that line to replace it. So that's one of them. Yeah. Another big item that, is if a boiler is not working properly. That's another, big thing that you can look over. Yeah.
Boiler is pretty expensive to fix too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Another thing that to look out for, it's not hidden, but some people don't, pay attention to it. It's older wiring. So like knob and tube wiring, that's a big thing. That could run you a big cost. If you have to rewire a house that, if you didn't notice that it was knob and tube there, because with the codes now, like if you don't have GFI and stuff in the bathroom and the kitchen, you gotta change that wire.
I have a client looking out in a property in Edensburg. It's like 3 hours away, man. But
Mm-hmm.
the property is like heavily neglected, and there's like frozen pipes under the ground. Like if you saw that property, I mean, of course, it's depending on the price, but like, would you even bother purchasing it or not? Because at the end of the day, like, regardless of the price, it's still the amount of work and time it takes to actually fix it and renovate it before you start getting those costs in return.
It depends on the price and how much work it really needs on the surface, and then yeah, it depends on the price and how much work it needs on the surface, and then you have to count for all those extra hidden things like frozen pipes and stuff like that. Yeah.
is there like a certain ratio you go off of, like how much you want to spend versus how much you think you can make off of it, and there's like a certain ratio you go off to like before buying?
Me personally, no, I don't. I How I do it in I kind of do a math in my head. I just kind of go off of, all right, I know the guys that usually work for me, I know what they charge per item, so I kind of like go down the list and do the math and see get a good idea of how much it's gonna cost me to do the work, and then I would probably give a little bit just in case something comes up, like extra 5-10% or whatever. Yeah. So yeah.
What's like the bare minimum profit that you're willing to accept on a property that you're selling it yourself? So I mean that cuts out a huge expense, but
I usually look I usually look minimum like around 20,000. So sometimes 15 if it's a easy flip, something like that.
Or if you
Yeah.
can just go in, fix a few things, new
Yeah.
paint, new flooring, and just move on out of it.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point too. Like, are you looking at mainly cosmetic stuffs, or are you worried about the mechanics too when looking at it? I'm not sorry, reword myself. Not worried, but like, are you buying a property with messed up mechanics?
I would if it depends on the price. Yeah. I would. I would. Yeah.
Gotcha, man. So yeah, I'm only asking to clarify because like some people like don't want to touch it or only want to focus on its cosmetics, but
Mhm.
obviously, man, you're willing to do all the work. So this granted, how many properties have you? How long have you been doing this for? Like, how many altogether?
I've been doing this probably about say 2016, 17. So about roughly 10 years, maybe a little less. Yeah.
What effect has COVID had with with your investments?
Um None really. At the time when COVID came around, I had just put a flip on the market, and it was scary because nobody could go see the property, and then of course nobody wasn't buying it because they didn't want to buy it unseen. And everything cleared up. I think was we got the okay to like show it. I think was like a month or whatever later, and I was just happy to offload it quick because I didn't know which way the market was gonna head. Actually, when COVID came, when COVID just first came, everybody was like, "Oh, the market is gonna crash," and blah 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 blah. So I was just happy to get rid of it, and believe it or not, that right after that is when the market actually started skyrocketing.
So do you wish you would have like held on to it?
I wish I would have held on to a lot of properties,
Yeah.
but but Yeah, but at the time I was just flipping them. So yeah. All those properties now are like double, some triple in value. Yeah.
Well, also going over like obviously we hang out a good big a couple open houses and talk about a little bit of marketing. And I know you have a new form of marketing coming out. They you've been personally working with, and how do you feel that's going?
Oh, that's going pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going pretty good. Yeah, I'm getting a lot more out. I'm reaching a lot more people. It's working out pretty good right now.
Because like obviously we're all here just sharing information, and I know Carter is also a realtor as well.
Right.
And Kareem has been recently like working with this like new marketing where they kind of market everything for you, like send out mail. If you want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I'm not gonna call a company name. I'm just gonna say what they do for me. So they do a lot of your legwork to help you out in your business. So basically, not only to help it grow, but basically to kind of put you on cruise control. Put it that way. So they do all my emails. So they send out check-in emails on clients. Everyone that's in my SOI, they send out emails. Um, Texts. They send out texts to check in on folks. They send out mailers once a month. All my Facebook posts, they do all my Facebook posts right now. So basically, all I do go on and do now is just share my posts. So yeah, they're doing a lot for me.
That's been generating pretty good leads for you.
I would like to say that I honestly think I picked up one listing so far from them. I only been doing this for a couple months now. It took like a month and a half to set it up. So they basically just started sending everything out. And I would like to say, yeah, I think they generated a lead for me already. But I can actually see more traffic. Um, like like when they send out the email automatically and I don't even know, like I have people emailing me back like, hey, it's going good, and then they're responding. So I can tell that there's some kind of traffic. And even like if I do an open house now, um, I can send a blast out to my whole SOI, letting them know that I'm doing an open house. Like just the other day, I did an open house, and a lady called me from New York, and she was like, "Hey, can you do a live video, whatnot, with when you're at the open house?" And I did. So I think it's reaching a lot of people.
Yeah, I noticed you said a key phrase there, SOY, sphere of influence, and you live in Philadelphia. What has your
Well, I'm in Reading area.
Reading area? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, I misspoke.
that's
But
all right.
but that is still like a dense population in there, correct?
Yes.
How have you built your sphere of influence? Just for I'm a little bit newer, so obviously still trying to build that. How have you been building that for yourself?
So I built my sphere of influence. It's most of it is a lot of people that I know that I probably have worked with in the past or whatnot, that I kept their numbers in my phone. That I would have been trying to keep up with, but now as I say now, this company is helping me do that. But and that's how I built up my SOI, by keeping in contact with people that I used to work with before. Um, but no, I've been building it like, let's say, past clients or whatever. I just keep on reaching out to them, and then they would send me referrals. So then that would be a new SOI or whatnot. Um, Now anyone that I meet and I talk to a little bit or whatnot, like, let's say I do an open house or whatever, now to me they're like an SOI or a potential SOI, because I'm putting it directly into my CRM, and they're starting to get emails, texts, whatever. If I have their number, if I have their address, they're getting flyers. So they see my face, they know me, so now I'm SOI or potential SOI to me.
Dude, that's a good note. Open houses, dude. Not a lot of agents like to do open houses. At least in my experience, which is ridiculous because it's free. It's
Yeah,
free. Like people are literally walking in there now. Regardless, like it's sometimes unmotivating if nobody shows up or most of them have realtors. But like you can get a lot of leads from that. It's
definitely, definitely. Yeah.
So like I know like going off of open house, I know I talked with Carter. We talked a little bit about open houses, and pretty much I know you've used open house a lot. But like, have you seen a lot of success coming from open houses, especially like starting out as a realtor? Or do you find like social media or other forms of lead generating sources have been better than open houses?
So starting out, I didn't do a whole lot of open houses because as I say, I was working another job and then the flipping or whatever on the side.
Yeah.
So a lot of my leads then came from like coworkers. So that was when I first started. That's where a lot of my leads came from. But now I've been doing a lot of open houses, and I would say yes, and open houses are very important. Yeah, even if that person comes in and they're already working with an agent or whatnot, you still get that information on that sign-in form and put them in your CRM. Keep tracking them, whether it's an email once in a while or if you have their address when they send them a flyer. Just keep up with them. But you never know, they might stop looking and they forget about their realtor that they're working with at the time, and in a couple months they start back looking. And if you keep in touch with them, they're gonna reach out to you because that's what you're in front of them.
Yeah, and we know some agents don't always do the best. So like,
Right, right. Yeah,
I know a couple of times where like they've literally at the open houses, or at least one time where they signed on with me because they just liked how I spoke to them.
right.
That's all it took. So I
Yeah,
mean, sometimes the bar is not very high.
exactly. You just gotta be friendly and open and talk to people and be honest with them about it.
I've
Yeah.
seen some crazy stuff on social media when it comes to open houses, like huge inflatables outside the
Oh yeah,
house.
we were talking about that. Remember like the car one, like we were talking about that, like the car inflatable they have outside with like the wavy arms and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
That's
thought we.
extreme.
I don't know. It might be extreme, but you know my next purchase. So I mean, how are you opening? How are you running your open houses? Do you have any special techniques, or we pretty much just winging it each time? That's not too that's not too unrare of me to just wing it.
Yeah.
I feel like you definitely have a technique because we always like whenever I show up, you always have like chips and water set up and a bunch of I really like the that like the house packets you have in forums that like go through everything with the house. Like I feel like you have it pretty set up and put together.
Yeah, so there you go. Gage just answered my question. So yeah, if it's my listing, I will do like a brochure. I make like a nice brochure that I can hand out to folks. The sellers like it as well. They can take it over, give it to their friends, and then your information is on that brochure. You showing it to everybody. You know what I mean? So that's one of the big things for me when I have my listing and I do open houses for my listing. Yeah. It depends on the situation. Sometimes I'll take like snack and water. You know. So yeah.
When I first started out, I was doing them pretty periodically, just because like I don't have a lot of money to spend on marketing or such. It's free, so anyone starting out, like open houses are great. But I stopped buying waters, like not waters in particular, but like waters and snacks and all that because nobody would take them.
That's true. That's true. A lot of people don't take it. Yeah. Yeah. Did
I
you?
feel like it's more of like just that it's there.
Yeah,
Like
Right. Yeah.
it's a good thought. It's just I didn't have the budget to do that.
Right, right. Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to, but yeah, I do it sometimes. So, yeah, a lot of people don't. They don't really take it. Like once in a while, I'll have somebody take something. Or if it's a really packed open house, then you'll see people taking stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, like when there's more people, then they feel like, okay, let's take something. It's like,
but
yeah.
now we're gonna see chips, cookies, water, and a huge inflatable outside. So sellers, but no, dude, it's still fun. So I mean, what's some fun experiences you've had in real estate so far?
Some fun experiences.
Yeah, what's a funny story you got?
Ah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of funny stories, but I had some extreme put it this way, things to do to get houses sold sometimes. The one time I had my guy up on a seller's roof, like there's like wood under the sill there, um, 20 degrees outside. I had him up there scraping and painting it so he can pass FHA. So yeah, that's
Dude.
I-
Well, speaking of roofs, I know we just stopped talking about the open houses, but one time I actually got locked up on the roof. I sat there for like an hour until some kids came by and helped me
oh
out.
my goodness. That's crazy.
Yeah, so like I was really determined to get inside this house from my open house. I was
Yeah.
like, I drove an hour out here, like I need to get in this house because the keys weren't working for the lock. So I ended up seeing some type of I don't know how to call it, but like vinyl. It was a post that went up to the balcony part, and I climbed up there. So now I'm on top of the roof, and I'm terrified of heights. By the way, so, and the only reason I climbed up there is because I saw a glimpse of hope. I saw the window was unlocked from
uh,
the floor, but I opened the window and it only opened like a quarter of the way. It had some like something stopping it. So then defeated, I sat up there not wanting to go down because I didn't want to like put my weight on the railing again. I was scared. Like I'm not trying to break. I'm not only trying to not
break it.
break this person's property, but I'm not trying to break my bones either. So I just sat up there being like, "You guys trying to come to my open house?" And eventually some kids came by and they were wondering what I did up there or what I'm doing up there, and I just said, "Dude, I'm not coming back down there." And they ran back. They ran like a block down to their house and they got a ladder that was too short. So eventually they're like hanging on the gutter part on top, and they're like, "Dude, you're fine." Even though this kid was like 100 pounds, he was like, "You're fine." I'm like a buck 60, so but no, I conquered my fear and I climbed down there. But that just
You really wanted to do that open house.
yeah, I ended up sitting on the roof for the whole open house, and nobody ended up showing up. So
Oh man.
Kind of rough to do that. No one even showed.
yeah,
That's why you take H to your open house, so he can help you out.
Yeah. I can help you down from the roof.
catch me, dude. I'll jump down.
Well, I guess going off on another subject, but I know you're also like a very big family guy. Going on a lot of like vacation, have like your kids that are involved in soccer and a bunch of different sports. Like I feel like I don't know, going through my day, like, I feel like I have a lot to balance, but I can't imagine also like being in that situation, doing investment properties and working in real estate. How do you balance everything?
It was tough to balance back then when I was still working a 9 to 5. It was tough to balance, but now I see where I have more time with the family and whatnot. Even though I still work a lot, but it's flexible. Like I can switch my time around to how I want it to work. So it's all good now. I mean, but it was rough back then. Working. You know, Leaving home at 5 in the morning and coming at 10, 11. Sometimes I won't see the kids and whatnot. But in between that, we always took a. That's one thing for sure. We do every year is at least take at least 1 or 2 family vacations. So I know we guaranteed to spend that week or two together.
So like, do you think like going through like that time where like every day you're like waking up at 5, coming home at 11? Do you like for people thinking about like getting into it and like they might think it's easier than it is? Even like, do you think it's worth it? Do you think like most people should push for it?
I think it's definitely worth it. It's a sacrifice, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's at least worth the try. Yeah.
Because like I know in like one of the podcasts we talked with Eric, and Eric said some people are meant for like the 9 to 5 and like it's good for them, and some people just like can't do it. They like more of like entrepreneur look or like finding something they're interested in doing it themselves. So do you think how do you feel about that? Do you think there's some people that like should give it a try, or like how long you should stick with it?
So definitely, I think it's up to the person, and like if a 9 to 5 is what you want to do, and that's what you used to, and that's all you want to, and you don't have a goal to do something as, definitely it's not for everybody. So if yeah, it's up to the person on what they want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And excuse me, I mean, we know it's a hard job, so like they're either gonna stick with it or they're not. So it's really up to like the level of determination they have, and
Right.
they absolutely have to have interest in it to even be in this type of career.
Right.
Not only will they not really go further in it, but nobody's gonna want to work with them at the same time if they see that they're not interested in it.
Right.
I mean, some people just like like some people just like being comfortable getting paid every week or bi-weekly or
Right.
hourly, however you want to do it. But how did you deal with the inconsistency, like the months? I know you had the
Yeah,
9 to 5 to cover it,
It,
but
that's kind of what I was just thinking as you were saying that.
it it was definitely rough at first. It was rough. Like I was frustrated. I was kind of like you could say depressed or however you want to put it. it was definitely a big change that I wasn't used to, and it was a lot of stress and had me worried for a little while. But I just kept going and doing what I had to do and just keep pushing. And now I feel like I'm coming out on the other side and getting somewhere, and I see my growth when I look back. I definitely see my growth. So yeah.
So with the inconsistency, like how do you like I kind of think the same way, like with like the stress and everything that comes with it, because like you're getting paid as you like close deals and you're getting paid as long as you're bringing business in. Like, do you put together like a certain plan of what you expect to make and like balance out like how you make it and like how you want to spend it,
Um,
especially with investment properties, because you got to put a good amount of money into it at that time, and if you're bringing in commission, if you have like a slow month, like is that like worrisome at all or?
uh, right now it's not too worrisome. Like it's like in the back of the head, you always worrying because it's the business that we're in is not it's not stable. We can't
Yeah.
from day to day we can't tell exactly what's gonna happen. But I've been pretty much blessed that it's been stable enough that like I have the income that I need coming in to like keep me going. Yeah.
Sounds like a happy, jolly time, man. So,
But yeah, but it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah, and even being a realtor is like a lot of like even before I was a realtor and I had no clue what a realtor did. I thought it was a super easy job.
I feel like it's what a lot of people
It
think.
is not at all, at all, at all. The stress we go through, like mentally.
wait. So let's convince the audience here. Why should they pay a realtor instead of selling their home themselves?
Because we take on all the load for them. We take on all the load. Yeah, yeah. It's simple things as organizing showings. It's selling your house by yourself, like having to just organize showings and stuff like that. It's just as simple as that. Is a lot of work for somebody selling their own house. Yeah,
So
but
like
yeah.
before you got your realtor license, like did you go into it thinking like, oh, this is gonna be like fun, like easy, like being a realtor must be so much fun. You're making like a bunch of money. You're just showing houses.
At
Like,
first, yeah. At first, yeah, yeah, yeah. But trust me, I enjoy it. I really do enjoy doing it. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. That's what I'm trying
yeah,
to say. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and I'm the type of person if something is not going right or is a little bit off. I know somebody must have missed something or whatever. That's it kind of keeps me up at night because I want to make sure everything is right for that person. So yeah.
yeah.
Okay. How did that cold turn into a dark alley make you feel when you realized that like this is not what I signed up for?
No, no, I don't mind it because I don't mind working hard. I don't mind working hard. I'm just saying it's a lot of work, but I don't mind working hard. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that much work, but I don't mind doing the work. I actually enjoy it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a cool job, man.
yeah.
How have you felt getting into real estate as a realtor?
Oh, dude. I mean,
Basically, from like 1 year in so far. So
yeah, a little bit over a year, but I mean, I've definitely noticed changes in myself just because the amount of work that it took. I mean, just hopping out of high school, I could barely talk, and now I feel like I articulate my words pretty well. And when I first started, I was mumbling so bad that not a single person in my brokerage could understand what I was saying. They thought I was like speaking a different language. So just from starting out from there to like being able to speak now, I'm groomed a little bit better, more professional, and like trying to educate myself. I feel like it's not only changed like how I am as a person, but I feel like it's just improved my life overall. Therefore, like it is super hard business, and there are plenty of times where you're doing all that extra work and not getting paid or compensated, which most people are like, that's an automatic red flag. They're not gonna do that.
Right.
Like I talk to people all the time that like, you don't get paid.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's the same thing. I'll do a bunch of like random like work and stuff like that, like the podcast or anything, and they'll be like, "Oh, but like you had to get paid for that." I'm like, "No," I've not gotten paid for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
But definitely, you're right. It real estate it changes you. It pushes you out there. It gets you uncomfortable. It makes you speak up and learn how to speak to people. And yeah, it definitely would change you. But you're on the right track. You're growing. You're learning to speak better and stuff like that. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm all for being bullied. I don't like other people being bullied, but like if you want to bully me, go ahead. Character development.
Yeah, I feel like getting into a job like this, like I'm obviously a mortgage broker, so I'm a little different, but like especially as a realtor, like you're going in front of people all the time and talking like every single day, and if you don't, you're not going to be very successful.
Right.
So I feel like with everything being about like connections and relationships and getting in front of people and talking, like going to investment meetups, even like social media, like podcasts and posting, like just getting yourself out there. I feel like it's really not meant for a lot of people that can really like force themselves to go out there and do it, or even better if you like really enjoy it, which I know a lot of people do enjoy it. Like it just makes you that more successful and really puts you in a good spot in this business.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a fun job, man. Like you like going to see houses all the time and
Yeah.
and talking to people. Like it's it's nice, but it's also sad. We're like someone's best friend for like a couple days to weeks to a couple months, depends on the client. But like we're like your closest friend. We know everything about you,
Yep.
and then they just disappear once they get.
That's why you gotta keep in contact with them.
But yeah, like it's like we're talking every single day, and then boom, like where'd my friend go?
They got what they wanted. They don't need you no more.
It is cool. Like I saw a central vacuum where like the hole popped open and like it like started making a sucking noise, and I thought that was crazy. That's like that. That's completely out of my time period. It's just I see like crazy stuff in houses all the time. Like, what's some crazy stuff that you've seen in a house so far?
Oh man.
I know one of the ones from the first open house I went with you. The one that you fixed with the ceiling, the heating.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But
First time, we have seen heat in the ceiling. Yeah, that was different.
it was coils, right?
Yeah, ceiling in the coils in the ceiling. Yeah.
So was that supposed to heat the level above it, or was
The whole house. It was in every room.
Oh,
Yeah.
thought he.
So now you learn now you learn something. The heat can be in the ceiling. So when you go to show a house and you don't see any vents or anything or any baseboards, it's in the ceiling. Yeah.
That's not the most efficient way to heat the house, but
Hey, I think it worked, right? It worked. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. Craziest thing I seen is houses like full of trash. Like I'm talking about like fixer upper houses. Yeah, crazy. Like I packed with stuff and falling apart. Yeah.
Wait, was that the one that we were talking about at that first open house? Like, what was that? I know there was one you were talking about that was like absolutely destroyed. Like the door was like had like an inch off the ground, like wasn't even on it. The
Could be.
fix and flip property you were looking into.
Could be. It could be. Yeah. It could be. Yeah. But yeah. Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I've seen some homes where like, dude, like the trash or clothes or whatever is all the way to the ceiling, and like you can't even like I had to look for the stairs to go upstairs. Like I couldn't find the entrance way to go upstairs, and then I like moved the pile of trash, and I was like, oh yeah, guys, we need to go this way, and we're like steeping through it like it's in a like it's in a creek or it's just it's something. I saw some interesting the word for it. I don't know. I saw a picture of a cat that said "I see you poop" on a toilet lid. That was pretty cool. Interesting job.
So like I know with the investment properties, since we're already on the subject, and like I have some thoughts on it too. Like, have you ever had any like problems with like people that are renting or like any like things that people might not think about? Because everyone thinks like you pay for an investment property, you fix it up, oh, and then instantly someone moves in, you make a ton of money, like it's a happy day. Like what are some of the problems that come with having renters and people like renting your home and staying in there, maybe not paying rent, or like even like something breaks and you have to pay for it? Like, what are some of the problems that you've encountered with that?
Can I follow? Because it's gonna be on the same topic. I don't want to ask you after you already explained everything. What's your occupancy rate? And please do not say 100% because you sound like you've been going like joyfully throughout the investment journey.
It is 100%. I don't have a whole ton of properties. I don't have a whole ton of properties that I keep. So it is 100%. I don't have a ton of properties. So and I had a couple bad experiences. To answer Gage's question. I had a couple of times where the first one a few years ago, they leave the place totally trashed. They left everything behind. They just left uh, furniture, beds, everything all trashed. The basement was full of clothes up to the stairs. They used to just throw it down there and not do laundry. So yeah, I had that, and then the next one I had, the person didn't pay me for like a couple months until I finally got them out, took them to court and get them out, and they left a decent amount of trash, but not as bad as the other one. But yeah, other than that, it's just like stuff broke, and you gotta call somebody to fix it. So as I say, I don't have a whole lot of property, so it's not very often for me to be calling people out to fix stuff.
The
It's
court
just
situation, did you take that as a loss, or did you get anything in to recoup the value of it?
the what?
Did you get anything sorry. Did you get that money for like the monthly payments that they missed back, or did you just have
No,
to take
I
that
had to
as a
take the
loss?
loss. Take that as a loss. Yeah. Yep. Not even worth going after them.
'Cause by the time you go after them, like you're already gonna spend a lot in court
Yeah.
fees. Like they could like not even show up.
Yep.
And yeah, I've heard about that a little bit because obviously I've grown up with the people that do a lot of renting too, so I learned a lot of things. Like
Yeah. Don't
um
don't even count on getting that money. That's
yeah.
that's it. Just be happy to get your house back. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why'd you have to take them to court if they weren't paying? I feel like that's just a simple 30-day evict, or was that part of the lease for like?
Don't take them to court to evict them, so they leave. Yeah. 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 So like after they don't pay me like a month and a half, I just go to the court and just get them out. Yeah. Because otherwise, you don't want them sitting there 3 4 months not paying you, keep making excuses because then take them to court right away and get them out.
Is there like a quick process or?
It's not that bad in this area anyway, but in Berks County anyway. Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, when you first go to court, I think they give them like I'm gonna say 15 or 20 days, something like that. Then if they don't move out, like if they don't move out by then, they send them another notice, and I think they give them like another 10 days before the sheriff goes down and lock it out. But usually, once you take them to court, they're gone like within 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks, they're gone. Yeah,
Just left a little bit of trash though.
yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't clean up before they got evicted.
Yep.
I feel like whenever like ends bad like that, and they're like not paying. I feel like most of the time the circumstances like it ends up being trashed or
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
Do you have any ways to like well, what are some ways that you pre-qualify them or do your background checks or something before filling it up with a tenant?
I just use a rent spree. It's like basically they fill out an application to rent spree, and I just kind of look at their history, their income. The income is one of the biggest things because a lot of the tenants have bad credit, so I don't really go by a certain credit score. I just try to see like their work consistency, like how long they've been at their job or whatnot, and see how much they have coming in.
Is it kind of just like they take care of it and go, like you don't really like analyze it or nothing like that, or take notes from it? I don't know how that works.
Who analyzes and what you mean?
The thing you use to pre-qualify the tenants and that put the application through, did it
Oh,
like give you feedback or anything like that?
yeah. So they just give me the no. They don't. I think there is like a line that says like there's like a red or green line that kind of puts them where they're at, looking at their documents, kind of like shows them where they're at. So yeah, but I go off of that app that they fill out, and also I personally meet the tenants there, the potential tenants. So I kind of read off of like you get a bad vibe on some people, so you just kind of shut them down right away too, that kind of way. So depending on their personality and what they say, or you can see like you can tell like the kind of person they are, just by looking at them sometimes, and you kind of judge off of that, which probably not right, but yeah,
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask, like, I mean, obviously, like, we all have that feeling sometimes, but like, are not we? I don't have my own rentals yet, but are you, are you even allowed to like, um, not accept it based off of like, I don't know, a bad feeling or something? Or are you just anyone who meets the qualifications, like they're allowed to, I guess, be approved or go into the rental? I know there's like fair housing laws and
yeah,
stuff like
but
that.
Yes, there's fair housing laws, but I would say a lot of times it's up to the landlord to pick that person after they look at the application. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, talking, quitting talking about the past, like, what's your future goals for real estate?
My future goals, well, right now, my future goals I would say is to keep growing as a realtor, to keep growing. My future goal as a realtor is possibly to build a team.
That would be awesome to build
Yeah.
a team.
Yeah.
Do you know like how would you go about like building a team? I'm not a realtor, so I don't really know. You probably know better than I do. But like how do you go about building a team? Like, is there like
Um, I haven't really looked into it yet per se. I kind of know how team works a little bit. Basically, just recruiting somebody under me. So basically, I would basically probably be shooting them leads, and whatnot, and a percentage of commission or whatever gets split between them and us. Yeah. So yeah. So that's how teams usually works. The leader will be the one, at the top, and then splitting the commission with the agents under them.
Do you have like a certain vision in mind when you picture the future? Like, do you want to be the big boss, with, like hands across the fancy desk, and everyone's like going to work, or like what's kind of like how you imagine everything going in the future? And like that could just be outside of, I mean, real estate. Just like what's your plans?
No, no. I mean, I plan to keep working my business. I plan to keep working as a realtor, but I will just like maybe a couple other agents as I grow to just help me along the way. Basically just to free up more time and like whenever I'm away, I know there's somebody there to basically run the show or whatnot, or take calls or showings or stuff like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Really deviating, throwing some work out would be helpful. Do you plan on using? I mean, have you looked into any lead generation sources so then you could scale faster, or are you kind of just being organic right now and letting whatever sphere of influence or outbound calls or such you're making?
So put it this way, I think the sphere of influence is the biggest way to grow, is it probably the best and biggest way to grow your business as a realtor. I tried Zillow for a few months, and then I tried Realtor.com for a few months, and I got nowhere with them. Yeah, my business was always sphere of influence and referrals, always.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I feel like it's just completely transactional when it's over Zillow and stuff like that. Like, I mean, sometimes the leads work, but then again, like they're probably not going to refer after. And I helped a lot of agents out, and the same question always comes when I do help an agent out with a showing is like, "Hey, how did you happen to meet your agent?" Just like to help me out to see like the
right,
relationship between them,
right,
and it's always like from a friend. I heard their name from so and so, or like we just sometimes it does come from like Zillow or something, but like the agent itself like has to be so great with like their personality, the way they work, just like a really overall like enthusiastic person to even get them to refer. Like, but I never heard like I cold called them. Like
right,
they cold called me, and we've been in a realtor client relationship ever since.
right.
It hasn't happened.
True. Yeah.
I feel like especially when it's like an inner circle, like if you cold call someone, like you're normally like just reaching out to them because it's a cold call and it's the lead. But when it's like in your inner circle, you're gonna continue to reach out to them just because you know them and like your family or friends. So I feel like that's a big difference on why like they continue to have a relationship afterwards. While if it's someone like, for example, like you're visiting a house is like over an hour away, like you're most likely not going to be in contact much with them unless you're just like referring and talking to them like throughout the process, like moving forward.
Yeah, like my favorite type of marketing is my brother's lacrosse games, soccer games, and daycare. It's just like I don't even like sprout out like realtor stuff all the time, but like they just know me and I like to talk to them, and it just that shows up to be the best way that I believe is to get like real connections, because I mean obviously if you're only following like one one
Was-
yeah, I mean not one source but like one Man, I don't know why I just blanked out on that. That's such and such. But obviously, if you have one goal in mind, like you only want to talk about real estate, like people are gonna get super annoyed by
Oh,
you.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, you don't want to be like that. No, you just want to be like friendly and talk and make conversation and build a relationship. So
yeah.
yeah,
So that's why I like being everyone's best friends because they're gonna think about me in the future instead of me being the person that I'm like, yeah, yeah. When are you selling your house?
no, you never can do that. No. Oh,
I feel like a big part of this business is just trust and like getting people to like I don't know, just being open about like how you feel and like being like a trustworthy looking person or like you said like being like happy and like they like being around you because then
okay.
they're gonna be more likely to refer like I don't know they're gonna like come to you whenever for you guys like to sell or like buy a house they're gonna come to you guys more often if they trust and like felt like they had stuff in common with you guys and laughed and I feel like it's the same thing with me as a mortgage broker even though our jobs are slightly the same and different at the same time but
Yeah.
Yeah, even so, like I need to be able to hold a conversation with you for at least 30 minutes on a random topic, and I feel like that has a better rate of conversion or referrals than if I just showed you a house like I don't know a year ago and it just didn't work out. Like I just feel like the personal relationships and actually getting to know the person deeper than a career source is just super important inside of the realtor community, definitely. But not only that, but like with you, Gage, as well. Like being able to talk to everyone and they know you're that guy, but they also know outside of the guy.
yeah. Sorry, I thought you were gonna keep going with that.
Nah, I just cut it short.
But I mean, yeah, like I completely agree, and I feel like that's the main thing that we go off of, and I feel like both of you guys do a really good job of that. You're all both very talkative, like from the open houses and anywhere we go. The moment we started, the first time we ever met was at the Starbucks down
Oh
in
yeah, yeah. At the Starbucks. Yeah,
at the
yeah.
Starbucks, which I was
he
that was
he cold called me.
yeah I did cold call. But it worked out because now we're good friends. We're
Right.
hanging out at an open house on the podcast. So maybe cold calling is the move. I guess so. Some friendships do come from cold calling.
Yeah.
Did you buy him a coffee?
We actually didn't. We actually didn't even get coffee. That was probably like my first like couple weeks in the business at that point.
Oh man, hey, this is
We're
about
officially licensed.
All right.
yeah. Don't give away my spot though, dude. Starbucks is where I meet everyone, every single person.
Don't you go to Starbucks like every day?
Dude, when I don't go to the office, I go to Starbucks. I sit there and I hold random conversations with random people, and that's my conversion rate. It's pretty high. But Starbucks is the method, so
It's really not a bad idea.
why sit at the office when I could sit at Starbucks,
And people
man?
coming, going in and out. Yeah,
Yeah,
people
and
going
like
in and out. Yeah, they
the
see you every day now. They know you.
yeah, and the workers they bring me samples and stuff. Like,
They
dude,
bring you samples.
yeah.
How well known are you at these Starbucks?
No. It's not like a me thing. I'm not a VIP at a Starbucks, but like they
You're
do it to
definitely a
everyone.
VIP at the Starbucks.
I
They're
would
bringing
say
you free samples.
they give it out to everyone sitting down. That's just that's just a deluxe edition. But I do this one person. I was late at the Starbucks and they like gave me like a whole bunch of free food. I was like, yes, I'm never going to the office again. Just only working at Starbucks, dude.
Would you recommend this strategy for like other new realtors?
No, it's only my strategy. I better not see a whole bunch of realtors at Starbucks.
Dude, you're gonna walk in and you're gonna try and start conversations. It's all gonna be.
It could be all realtors.
They're all just gonna be working with you. They're all
like-
being from like your.
I like nudge someone like, hey, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a realtor. Oh, me too. And it just dies right there. Oh man, but no. Seriously talking. Yeah, I mean, I would say for any new realtor, like getting yourself out there, being public, and just making sure you're competent in the area that you want to pursue, whether it's specialization or it's just realtor in general. I would find that extremely helpful because it took me a while to actually feel comfortable talking to people about real estate, and that was just like a barrier that I had to get over, and it was a struggle. I mean, why would someone want to work with you if you don't know what you're talking about? You know?
Yeah, that's why you gotta know your contracts. You gotta know your contracts too. You gotta sit down and really read through those and understand them. Yeah.
I mean, going off that, like when you were young and starting out, like inexperienced in the business, and there's some things you do know and some things you don't know. Like, how did you go about talking to people in a way to like make them like trust you?
Like, well, a lot of the times things that I didn't know, I would just let them know I'll get back to them, and
Yeah.
then I'll reach out to my office manager, and she will answer it for me, and then I'll get back to them when I had an answer for them. Yeah.
Do you that ever like come up with problems like early in the process, like, since you had to like reach out, like because I know like obviously like everyone as they go up, there's some things you just don't know, more complicated cases you want to reach out and like clarify on some things. But has that like led to like it'd be like harder to like become like a seller for the house or like a buyer agent?
Not really. If that person trusts you and
Yeah.
knows you and they're really willing to work with you, no,
Yeah.
not really. As long as you're not just shooting out wrong answers at them, it's better you
Yeah.
tell them, okay, hold on, let me get the answer, and then you get back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is that is where like personality has a big play in it.
Yeah.
Like if you guys can just hold a regular conversation, like they might give you a chance.
Right.
So I mean that's kind of how I played it for the first couple of months until I somewhat knew what I was talking about.
Right.
That's complete. That's completely. I mean, like when you were like starting out, you were learning. Like, did you learn a lot from your office managers, or like was there like someone that you relied on? Like, did you learn under someone before you got into it, or you just jump in like individually right off the start? Because I know some people, like some realtors, like work under someone and kind of just follow them around for a couple months.
No, so I didn't follow anyone around. But I had a office manager that although I should say the office I was at, they had a lot of training classes, like classes that they train you. They go over all the contracts and
Yeah.
stuff. And I always had that person that I can call, whatever I needed an answer on. And luckily for me, a few of my first contracts that I did was actually my own properties.
Yeah.
So basically, I got to learn a lot from just that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you think like obviously like, we talked about this before, but since we're on the podcast, it's like always good to talk about like gaining a realtor license and being in investment properties at the same time. Like how much of an advantage does having your license, even if you're not using it as a realtor, like bring to like becoming an investor?
It's a big benefit if you want to save money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a,
I would say myself as
it's
well.
a
I'm not even an investor. I
yeah,
would,
it's a big benefit to save money. Some people might want to deal with the headache of going and get the license and doing the paperwork and stuff like that when you list your own home or whatnot. But to me, it's a big benefit to save you money. Definitely.
And does it give you any advantage, like, because like, you can go and like walk in, look at properties by yourself, which, or
Right.
like even like, does it give you like more like in depth looks into properties as well? Like other than like obviously you're saving money because you don't have to do commission or anything else on top of that. But is there any other like areas that like beginning investors wouldn't expect where it, like really come in handy to have your license?
Yeah, as you say, it definitely gives you the flexibility, like to just walk in a property. So you
Yeah.
don't have to sit there and wait for an agent or whatnot to see the property. You can see it firsthand. Like you can be the first person in. You can go whenever you want on your time.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there and wait. And definitely.
so how long did you wait until you got your realtor's license? Like, did you do it for the hopes that you would just be have more insight on like the investment properties and the work that you're already doing, or did you kind of figure that would just be like a cool side by side job, like make some cash on the side with realtors or whatever, because it's an easy job, right? Or like,
So no, actually, I got my realtor license not to be a actual realtor for clients. Honestly, I got my license just to take care of my properties, to just to save commission on the properties when I sell them, and just to give me freedom to go in and see any properties that I wanted to see. I honestly did not get my license to be a realtor, but as I got my license and I see how much I enjoyed working with people and how much people kind of gravitated with me to me, for me to help them with real estate. That's when I really started to enjoy it, and that's when it clicked and said, this is what I really want to do. Yeah.
I mean, that's all. Like, obviously, we talked about that before, so I kind of knew. So I know some of the insights that some of these questions are asking, but I mean, like that's awesome, and I feel like getting into something like that you really enjoy, and then being able to like share it with other people is just a really great thing to do, and it shows how much you really love like your job and being a realtor and getting to do what you do every day, like in loving it instead of waking up every day and like dreading it. So,
Yep. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, isn't that a blessing? Being able to wake up and enjoy your job. Like,
Yeah. One thing for me that I really enjoy is not waking up to an alarm. That's what even though I work long hours and some days or whatnot, I'm not waking up at 5. I can wake up at 7, 8, whatever time, and then start my day and let my body wake itself up. Put it that way.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy a lot doing this job.
And of course, like we talked about like soccer games, family events. You can move
Exactly.
things around. You can go and like just enjoy time with the family. Have like spend time on vacations and
Exactly. Yeah.
not have to worry about like missing out on something because you have to be like here for this hour, like this day of the week, like for moving forward. So.
All right. Yep. Yep.
how are you blowing off some steam? Like, do you hit the gym? Do you have any ways to like?
I just started going to the gym actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got some muscle on you, man. Back in heat. But no, like, yeah, obviously, like it's life's a balance, and whether you're religious or not, that could be part of the balance. But like family, work, and other stuff, like we need to be able to stabilize ourselves. So well, obviously, it's a lot of work. So like, what are some ways that you found um outside of work to improve, like whether it's your mental being or like your overall health?
Just family time, man.
Family time.
Yeah. Spending time with the family. Yeah. Soccer games. I enjoy those like crazy. Watching my son play soccer. Swimming, he swims as well. Just taking them to the movies or going out to get something to eat or whatnot, just to hang out. Yeah. That's what I enjoy. Yeah. And of course going on vacations. Yeah. I love going on vacations to the Caribbean. Yeah. That's what I look forward to all year.
You want to talk about any of the most fun vacations you've been on?
Oh, we have a ton of them. Yeah, I have a ton of them. Yeah, yeah. All the vacations we go on are fun. Yeah.
If you had to have like a favorite vacation, what's the favorite vacation you've been on?
Um, Actually, the one we've last that well, to remember clearly a while last December we went to Turks and Caicos. We took the kids. That was super fun. It was super fun. It was laid back. It was nice. A lot of entertainment on the resort. It was crazy. It was nice. Beach was super nice, clear, warm, everything. So the food was great. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we get to see a lot. We drove around the island a little bit and stuff. So yeah.
Do you plan on going back anytime soon? Is that like one that you want to like redo?
Um, I try to do a different one every year. So I have a couple of them that I redid already, but I try to go to a different one every year. Yeah. To
Or
me,
what's the next plan? What's the next plan?
the next one is in July, Bahamas.
Bahamas?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this one that will be a revisit. Yeah, that's a revisit. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you looking for more guests?
You want me to adopt you?
Man, I would be happy to come along to the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We do enjoy those times. Yeah, I would say every island we went to, we had a good experience. It's every one of them is different in their own ways, but it's always enjoyable. The
What,
beach is always nice.
what about this? If you bring me along and we talk about real estate, we can write the whole trip off.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, sure. Have you pay for it and then we write it off. How about that?
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty excited. Like, I got like we talked about it. I think I talked about it with you too. Like, I got a vacation coming up to Colorado, which is pretty exciting. So never been out to Colorado before, but pretty excited for that one. And obviously we have our Michigan trip coming up as well. So
Yep,
Michigan, So always a great time in Detroit, Michigan.
Have you take him already?
Yeah. Carter's been up to Detroit.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna go again?
Yeah, I went for the basic. Whenever it comes around, we'll go to the. I hope to go to the events too. But yeah, it's a fun experience out there, man.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some experiences. But
It kind of reminds me of like Gotham City, like nighttime with like the steam rising and stuff like that.
I feel like that's not the recommendation you want to go to, like, going to a city. Like if you were like the owner, like the mayor of a city, I feel like you wouldn't want to be recommended as like Gotham City.
I don't know. Some DC fans might want to come out there, experience it.
We didn't see much of the city when I went. It
Yeah,
was too
yeah.
cold outside.
Yeah, when we went up, it was like the first time it was like -10,
Yeah.
-15 degrees, and I feel
It
like
was
we talked about
crazy
this, but like it was bad to walk outside. Like I think when 'cause, we went up 2 months later, and it was probably like 40 degrees, 30 degrees.
That was
It's
like summer up there.
Yeah, it was a little. Oh, it felt so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to be like -10. I remember like signing up and like obviously we signed up, we're ready to go, and then I look down and all of a sudden I see it's gonna be like -14. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
But it was a great time, and luckily everything we did was like inside,
Yeah.
so we didn't have to start any campfires,
Wasn't
make
bad.
any igloos. But yeah, it was cold. It was very
Yeah.
Great experience though, no doubt.
Yeah. So what are your guys' plans for future as far as investing? Are you guys both gonna get into it?
Absolutely, I would love to get into it as soon as possible. I'm actually going to CCMI pretty soon to like have like a designation there, and then like really perfect my expertise in it, and then at that point I probably feel confident enough after I rack up a couple sales, set it back, and then I'm hoping to have a nice portfolio within the next 1 to 2 years and scale it up.
Nice.
Yeah, so for me, I definitely plan on like once I get a couple closing under my belt and start to bring up a little bit of like money to invest into it. Love to get like a duplex or like a triplex, or even like potentially 4 units, which would be awesome. But definitely want to start house hacking, which is my goal to get into right away. Just kind of buy like a 2 unit to 4 unit, rent the other ones out, live in one, and then maybe a year later like buy another one and just repeat the process maybe like 3 times until I have a couple of units under my belt.
Right.
And then at that point, I have some cash flow coming in. I can just kind of move on to whatever my next idea is after that. But that's definitely what I'm feeling right now.
Good idea.
So,
Good idea. House hacking is a good idea.
yeah, and I don't think we ever talked about house hacking on here before. So, like, house hacking is just like just talking to people on the podcast, but it's just a general idea of like you purchase a house, like I said, like 2 to 4 units, keep it a residential property, go in, probably a fix and flip, so you fix up the property, and then once it's fixed up, you buy it for a lower price, fix it up, you have a lower mortgage on it, and then you can rent out each of the units while you live in one. So it's basically paying for your rent and paying for your mortgage at the same time. And then also you're making money off of it if there's any extra money after it's done paying off your mortgage. So you basically get to live for free while you're also building up equity in your house. So,
Yeah, I mean at that point, like it depends on the situation, of course, but I wouldn't. I say you can go both ways. Like if you do get an already rented or already a ready property to be rented out, like at that point, then you can actually qualify for FHA, right? Because it doesn't have like
Right.
all the damage and stuff like that.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And then you pretty much just go in there and you don't have to like wait a couple weeks or months like that, because I'm assuming someone that's like just starting out in real estate, like doing house hacking, doesn't really want to put down like a huge down payment, or like doesn't have like the capital to actually like stand a couple months without income.
Right.
Well, I mean, you could always get a obviously like I have a little bit of idea in this, but like you get a construction loan as well, so you can kind of just like finance it out. So it like covers like how much it costs, and then also it'll cover everything you think it'll take to refix it, like fix everything up. So all that'll be covered no matter how long it takes. That'll be put out on a separate loan, and then once you go through the process, and you're done with all the fixes, you can go through and just refinance it, and then change it over to an FHA once it's fixed up.
Dude, that's why I like real estate. Like it's just so flexible.
So
It's
like
just-
so like in that aspect, like if you get an already bought property, you could FHA it, but it doesn't make as much sense like capital wise because obviously you've done a lot of like fixer upper houses. And when you do that, you can buy it for a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
And once you fix it up, you make like it's 3 times the price it originally was.
Yeah, if you buy it turnkey, it's basically
Yeah.
probably not gonna get any equity in it. That's what he's trying to say.
And you want to build equity, and that's like the whole purpose of it, building cash flow off the property. So you're making money like not week, but monthly.
Yeah.
You're making a monthly cash flow, and then on top of it, as they're paying in the monthly cash flow, it's also going towards your equity and paying off your house.
Yeah, no. That's just I just wanted to bring up like the multiple routes that you can take because I just love the flexibility about real estate.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Like, and all it takes to actually go into it is a simple YouTube video.
Yeah. Most people probably figure it out from like TikTok or like YouTube.
Nowadays we even got TikTok.
You just scroll, and then probably someone brings it up. Like I know a lot of people are posting like social media clips right now. The big thing is like, oh, buying my first like flip property, fix and flip, or whatever they want to do. And like going through how they're doing it, like the step-by-step process, which I find interesting, and other people probably find interesting too, and get them into investing in properties as well. They probably think it's a lot easier than what the video is shown, I would guess, and I feel like you would agree with that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's a lot harder than the video shows.
Yeah, it looks a lot more. It looks a lot more fun than probably how it is. But yeah.
But it's beautiful. It's like if you're comfortable enough to take the amount of risk it takes, like it can be a great way to build that financial freedom and have more flexibility in your time to be the person who you would like to be instead of getting mad at your boss or like manager or stuff like that. So like it really like it has to weigh itself out for everyone, and everyone's different. Everyone has different interests in life, but dude, I just really appreciate the job. Like, it's so hard, but it's also so rewarding at the same time.
It is. Yep.
And also, like, going on that, I feel like this is a great time. Is there any other, like, if we have any other questions or anything to talk about?
How's your 2026 going?
Pretty good. It's a slow start, but it's picking up.
Oh, man. How do you think the rest of your 2026 is going to go?
Hopefully good.
Yeah. Dude, I love you, man. You're just such a jolly dude. Optimism, dude.
You got to stay optimistic in this field.
That's the one thing I will say. Like, ever since I met you, like, I've never seen you not with a smile on your face. Like, you might be one of the happiest people I've ever met. like I have never seen you like not laughing and smiling.
Yeah. You gotta stay optimistic. Yeah. You know, you smile with people it's gonna feel warm and welcoming. You know, they're gonna
But dude, you were talking about how you came here and like everyone was like ignoring you and stuff like that. Like I feel like that came from like the tight knit community where like everyone was like super friendly with each other.
Right.
Like that like kind of like formed it for you. I feel like we should all have that. Like I should know every single neighbor I've ever had.
Right.
We should all be best friends, and then we should all be smiling and stuff, not like giving each other cold shoulder.
Yeah.
And then we'll all be like super jolly and optimistic.
Yeah.
Optimistic.
Oh man.
But going off that, I think this is a pretty good spot to wrap up the podcast for today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you all for having me. Appreciate it.
I had a heck of time talking to you, man.
Yeah, thank you
Try
for
to reach
having
over
me, man.
there.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about the podcast?
No, I guess did you well let me ask you the same question. Did you have any messages you want to overlay? I mean, we said like we have to smile, but like any other positive messages for the world?
Just stay positive and keep pushing forward, keep your head up and keep going no matter what you're doing. Always do your best at it.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to go, especially in a business like real estate where you're like building on it. You just gotta keep on going. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna look into that as young in the business, and I think you will too as well.
Yeah, no, I have to smile so hard that I start getting like wrinkles up here. I feel like everyone should do that. It's the way to go in life. But
Awesome. But that'll be episode 3 of the 717 Mortgage Group Real Estate Podcast. Thank you so much, Karim, for coming on. It was a pleasure having you, and I learned a lot of great information. And See you guys next time.